Hi everybody, welcome back to Rusty Gears Season 4, Episode 69. With me, Sid. 69. My favourite number. And there's a reason for it. And it's not what you think it is. Or it may be what you think it is, depending on how rude what you think it is. Because if it's really rude, then it's not what you think it is. But anyway, who cares? I'm here. I've got a door under my arm, and we are still out at the Hill Fort, where we need to finish off these outside houses, do a little bit of decorating, and you'll notice there's a lack of a certain ruin. I wore out a pick and a bit chopping this thing out. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. What am I going to do with all the stone? Probably store it, never use it and get right back to it, but I'll probably try and fill this in. As this is desert, I don't think I will fill it in with dirt. I think I will probably go and take one of these hills down somewhere and try and fill this all in with sand. But you know, that's whatever. In terms of the storage in my tent, full. These are not full, but that's only because they're the building materials. Full and almost full. So we've been busy, and I've been home, and I need to just make this place safe, because we have got so many bad things spawning in here. For that, I probably actually need to get some light. And the internet, the crown in my inventory, I was trading with the traders, the guests at my hotel. We're sticking with that story. The guests, yes, we were trading with the guests, and they didn't want that today. Oh, perfect, I've got two of those. So the question being, I got sticks and I got a knife. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be enough to address that problem. And let's do this over there, because that's where my chest is with my torches and the likes. And I know I could have just used the torches out there, but I know me, I will forget to replace them. So the plan today is to finish off this build. Let's just thought it was alive for a second then. Let us put that, I don't know, there. No, it's not. I can't remember what the light level on mod was. In fact, if I've even got it on this one. Mods I can't live without, but I often forget to put them in. Toggle highlighting, toggle. Oh, Control L. There we go. Yeah, a little bit there, a little bit up there. So I don't think there's much we can do about that with just 2 torch holders, but that's fine. We can address that later. And then we can put one in this building over here as well, which may or may not be infested with drifters. It certainly was the last time when I signed off last episode. Let me just do that. There we go. That will sort us for a while. I'm going to stick this in here, just a nice little worn door on the outside. The other one's going to have a even more worn door, because they're the only ones I had to hand. Did have to go out and hunt down some leaded glass. That was a thing. But again, we can put on this old broken door. I think they're probably more characteristic and thematically accurate for what we're trying to achieve here anyway. Now, let me think about floors. We need floors, we need outside, we need windows, and in the case of this one, somehow stairs as well. Probably stairs. There, it's going to be. Oh, that's ugly. We'll work it out. I don't know. I mean, that could use a trick out of QP's chisel toolbox. That might not be a bad idea. Yeah, there's always options. But let's think about floors. I think I'm just going to go with straight oak floors. Why straight oak floors? Because I got a whole load of oak. Because we chopped down a tree, and that means that I've got a whole load of oak to play with. So let's start off with some floors. I can always whiz back home and grab some more torches and things. That's not a problem. What I do need out of here is that. Get rid of you. Go do you. That will do there. And let's have a think. Maybe stone in this, the stone floor for the actual floorage. Again, I'm not short of this, so we don't need to worry too much about this. So let's just do that, I think. I probably should put a light source up there as well if I'm going to do that, because otherwise I'm just going to end up with drifty boys everywhere. And we'll bring down the fireplace properly as well. But I need to think about my stairwell, and it's probably maybe there. If I did that, would that work if I was going? No, because of that. Alright, well, I need to think about this a bit, don't I? I probably need to go and get those light sources and some lanterns. That might not be a bad call. Let me just have a think. Let me go and visit my stash of stuff that I haven't got on me, and I shall be back in a second. Alright, now we've got some basics on. Next thing, beamwork, which is sometimes a little bit on the slow side, but I think we can make this roof is going to bother me if it's not beamed. So I think what we will do is, I'm not going to do all of that. I will do these because they only cost one. So they're not overly expensive. We've got lots of oak, and it's not like oak's a difficult wood to find either, so let's not be stingy, I think is the phrase. So that works. I could do the same down here without losing anything, I think, as well. Like this. I mean, those little corners are a bit of an annoyance, but yeah, what are you going to do? The only option is to do a vertical beam going up there, which I don't really want to do. I think that will be too much. Absolutely fine. Here, of course, that is a done deal. And then from there, across there, down there, and across here. I mean, I suppose I could actually go like that as well. That wouldn't hurt. On the odd face, maybe something similar here to there. Yeah, I don't mind that. And then we'll have the usual under supports as well. We also need, but we'll need to get all of that in. That's going to be a lot more straightforward, I think. This one is just going to be a little bit of a more of a challenge getting these edges done, but yeah, I'll get that done. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I think we're almost there with this. Bit of detailing to do in there, but this is really just going to be a matter of tidying up a few of these blocks just to give them less, wear and tear on them. and we should be about there. That's what we came up with this for this one. Yeah, not perfect, but works okay. We can obviously get a fireplace in there. We've got stairwell up. I suppose we should give this a little bit more texture. It's not like I've not got a lot of stuff, is it? Similarly on this one, we've got plenty of scope for de-wearing. If you ever watched anybody who's into cosplay or prop making, prop simulation, stuff like that, Adam Savage is a classic example of that. Brilliant channel to watch if you're into that kind of stuff. They refer to a stage of weathering. This is anti-weathering. This is where we're taking something that is weathered and making it less weathered. So yeah, I must admit I do wish I had some of the skills that they have to do build some of the things they build. I'd love to make some themed movie props and stuff like that. I don't. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bad with stuff. I can hold my own. But yeah. Now we could put shutters on. There's lots of scope inside for decoration. This is not really a living place, so it's going to be hard to get that kind of look and feel of wear and tear in here. I may have to make a return trip to just have a think and then maybe come back to it. But if I do go ahead with my plan, and let's go over and have a look at my plan, because every time I look at it a little bit more, I wonder how wise it is. Now that is a packed adventure tent. I need that to pick up that, and that can go away. You can go, let's get the right key, they can go back on my bag. So let's try that again. Yeah, still stuff to do, still need to take that down, but I am largely very happy with that. Let me get in there, get an F1, no, yeah, an F4 and an F12. I've been playing Minecraft a wee bit recently, as you probably know, and I've been doing that Homestead in the Woods series, and I found myself trying to craft a pickaxe with a pickaxe head and 2 sticks today in Vintage Story. So yeah, there's a very real danger. Those wolf corpses down here, yeah, these were 2 suicidal wolves just hurled themselves off of that at me. I was chopping down the tree over there, and they just threw themselves off the top of this hill. Needless to say, they were not flying walls, so it didn't go well for them. But things. So this place here. Now I have everything I need to make myself a new night watcher, which we could bury somewhere in the centre of the courtyard here and make this place reasonably spawn safe. If there are any set spawners from the ruins mod, then it's going to be a bit more awkward, but you know, I would love to try and restore this. There's lots of granite ruins about for me to get the granite ashlar blocks from. The thing was designed with ancient warfare in mind, so you can fit a portcullis there. You can, I need to fix that, but you can fit a portcullis there. I can go and borrow that, I suppose. Ooh, hello. Oh, that was not a full block, okay. There you go. Actually, not bye-bye, no, that's silly. We can use that. So the big question for me is, should I? Not can I know I can. There's some bits missing, so you know there's clearly stairs here coming up to a tower. Those are stairs, you can tell, because they've got stairs on them. Health and safety obviously not a consideration. This looks like it would continue round here, so this tower looks like it comes up. Then you've got this, I assume would circulate around to here. I think that's going to go round, and this becomes a higher up bit. That's presumably your watchman's post, so he can sit and keep his eye on things and keep warm when it's in the dark. They're obviously very tall, but yeah, and yeah, it'll be an interesting project, I think. You've probably noticed by now, I need lots of different things to keep my mind occupied. I am not someone who can persist on one thing to the exclusion of all else. It's just not the way I work. Now, a lot of this, you see, if we come up here, a lot of this is, if we get the right, is just rebuilding the blocks. I'm going to assume that is that, because that would go hand in hand with that pattern, and then that will come there, that will do that, and then you've got, you know, clean up, which in itself shouldn't take too long. And then it's just a matter of finding and replacing and reverse engineering some of the spots, because some of this just does not work anymore. You know, I'm fairly certain this is a rubble pile and not part of the structure in here, for example. I'm also fairly certain that there would have been a wooden floor in here for the archers to get into these positions to shoot from. So we're going to have to kind of work out some base principles to apply, and clean up what we can, how we can. You know, that ladder, again, that ladder went up, obviously that must have been what it was for, or down, although there doesn't really appear to be much for down, because that's the gatehouse. So yeah, it's an interesting problem, an interesting project. I just don't know whether I've got the time this season to undertake it, or the will to undertake it. This is not trivial, and you know, you can see there's a lot of tidying up the broken blocks to get us to a point where, now that I genuinely don't know what that will be. I assume it's going to be that there. So again, we can take these blocks and mirror them. That's fine. We've got pantographs. We can rebuild these stairs. We can bring this block up quite easily, but that needs to be pulled, you know, to a point where it's a mirror of that. Yeah, I'm in two minds. I think this place would look magnificent finished, and I also know my kind of drive when I get a project, so maybe I have got time to finish this, and more importantly do it due diligence. I can ask the guys on the Better Ruins. It's probably dampers would be a guess for someone who was, if he wasn't involved in this project, and you know, there's a very good chance it was, because Dampers is a castle guy. They'd be able to probably even point me at pictures of this one, because this is actually based off a genuine ruin, so a genuine castle. Hence the level of details. I think this was the one they said was based off a genuine castle. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But I think this would be amazing if we got it to a point where it was complete again. And you know, again, that needs pulling up to match that. That's easy. And in fact, I would say, yeah, probably relatively straightforward. These are, oh, I don't know. I really don't know what the correct choice here is. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think we will not start this now. I've got other things we can be at, but I've got my gold, that's all good. And we've got other things we can be on with. So, oh, hello, well, let's not do that. Let me know what you think. I may make a start to see whether how difficult reverse engineering some of this is. I might go and raid a few granite ruins just for some ashlar. Wow, that's even got. I did not know. Wow, that is a piece of engineering, isn't it? That. Doesn't want to go through though, does it? Almost. Yeah. That one worked. Oh well. If there was an invading soldier down there, he's dead. Right. Yeah. Let me know what you think. I think you can imagine this in this glory. Get some sconces and, you know, torches. I'm inclined to leave this landscape in. I think this looks nice, but we can tidy up as we go. Get these walls rebuilt. As I say, there will be, I think, bits that we need to reverse engineer. There are bits in here that I will struggle to work out from what is left of them. And then there's obviously this crypt down here, which, and you know, we've got medium rift activity, and we're not really struggling with drifty boys and stuff. So that's the thing. The other thing it occurs to me is that these are probably solid, so I could almost certainly go inside some of these structures, hollow them out and just replace with dirt or something to get the materials to fill some of the other stuff. Don't know whether it's all just, because that's cobblestone. Let's just have a look. This just looks like oh no, that's, no, it is a mixture, isn't it? But oh well. Granite, ashlar and cobblestone. Yeah, there's, I don't think there's a shortage of this stuff though. Yeah, let me know what you think. I've got plenty to keep me busy, but I need things to keep me busy. I have that kind of mind, I suppose. And it's worth pointing out that I have never been diagnosed with any form of spectrum disorder other than by my wife. I have kids who have spectrum disorders, and I am, you know, sympathetic and aware of spectrum disorders. It's just that officially I have never actually been placed there myself. That doesn't mean to say I'm not on a spectrum. I do have that kind of attention to detail that could be there, but hello. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, so let me see where we are, what we've got to do next, and I will see you in a few moments. Alright, we're back at the home base. I've just got from a trader the last piece of the Forlorn Hope armour, so I've got a full set, but I'm working on this one, the Broken. So I need to take this and make some chain armour. So I think it's chain sheets we need to start off with in iron, and that's what I'm doing. So in theory we should be able to go, and I think I'm fairly certain it is 2 ingots per. But I think I only need 3 pieces of chain armour, perhaps. The recipes are ambiguous on that, shall we say, because they also suggest that it could be 3 pieces per. So who knows? It's something. But these shouldn't take too long to hammer out, especially not with Napster. And yeah, let's see how we go. I think the next stage requires gold though, and that's where I'm kind of suffering, because I've got 2 ingots of gold. I would like to have a night watcher for that project if I do it. So if I don't, then I've got 2 ingots of gold, which will make a plate, which is possibly enough for one thing. But I think the Forlorn Hope is almost certainly going to use a fair amount of gold. And at some point we're just going to have to go and bite the bullet and go and try and find a gold vein. We've both myself and Gran have been looking heavily this year for a decent gold vein, and neither of us have found one. I found some really good ones last year, to the point where, you know, I felt a bit like the server Rothschilds in gold, not gears. Well, probably both. But I think we should be able to Broken take a broken helmet. Okay, we're going to take to make a damaged helmet. Okay, and oh yeah, so you do need 5. That's just to repair it, so it is 5, so I need more, and that one is 3, so I need 8. I've got 2, so I need 12 iron ingots. There we go. I mean, I've got loads of iron, it's not a problem. It just would have been nice if that was clear from the word go. So, quick bit of smithing and we'll get this armour up to the next level. Now it's still not great, it's still protection tier 1, because we need to take it from broken, from damaged. We need to take it with a iron plate to that. So yeah, alright, we could actually get our blackguard armour sorted today. We'll have to have a check how these go, but that will be quite fun having that. I mean, I'm not a heavy armour personage, you know, not being in that class, but doesn't mean to say I can't want to have it, does it? Of course you do need your armour turned on to see it, but yeah, I'm beginning to wonder whether this lecturing was such a good idea, because that was 2 more ingots of gold. Well, we'll never know, will we? But right now, I'm just doing this. See when you move. Alright, we have got broken to damaged. And I think it was, yeah, broken to damaged. So this one requires 1 iron plate. Again, we can do all of this. This requires 5 iron plates, so that's 10, 12. And this is almost certainly just going to require another 6 iron plates, so 18 iron plates. Wow, that's like 36 iron plates you go through. Now, there's a little bit in me that says we should process up blooms rather than work with iron. Just because, you know, I've got a number of blooms and we should probably work those first. You know, it seems a little bit silly to be working with, well, I suppose it all depends on your perspective of time, doesn't it? And this is what I kind of often say about a lot of these mods and being content creators. Time is precious. So I could, for example, process these another time. Problem is, I know I won't. So if I do these 4, that's enough to get me nearly 1/5 of the way there, but I've got enough here to get all of this done. So, well, let's push it, shall we? I'll get these processed and I shall be back once I have got 18 iron plates. Alright, 9. And a car with a really dodgy exhaust. I mean, seriously, they need to do something about that. It did not sound healthy at all. Right, let's close that up. Turn that off. That clang, 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 clang does get on your nerves very quickly. Put those away. Got 9 of those. That plus that is a Blackguard helmet. Full Blackguard cuirass, protection tier 3, 96 high damage. When damaged by a higher attack tier, the loss is only half as much. I mean, you've got to look at the hunger rate is twice, healing effectiveness, range damage, walking speed. These are all the negatives to this heavy armor, but hey, we've got it. We've made it. What we need to think about next is, well, what we also need to think about next before we do anything else is putting away after yourself in the forge. It's good forge etiquette. But that gives us a full suit of Blackguard armor that I will probably be wanting to get in the next season. Now, just having a look at this, the Forlorn Hope is an ingredient for the damaged, which requires iron chain for the damaged. Okay, that's fine, we can do that. And then to make that, this is where it gets expensive. Iron and gold plate to make that. Now again, it's good armor. Its walk speed is not so bad. It is probably close to as good in, looks like, damage reduction. But yeah, that is The Fallen Hope breastplate uses gold chain, 2 ingots, iron and blue cloth, and then that uses another 4 gold. Yeah, we are not doing that anytime soon, although it would be nice. So I think on that note we are going to call this episode here. We've actually made some progress. We've made ourselves a nice suit of armour that I probably won't ever wear because it's not made in my class. My class is about speed, but yeah, we've also managed to get the exterior of most of that stuff done up in the hill fort. Do let me know what you think about the idea of trying to recreate that castle. I think it will be, on the one hand, fun, and on the other hand, hell. So yeah, I mean, Lord, fortunately Grant's given me a whole load of granite, so that gives us what we need, and I know where there's all sorts of that could be a granite one there. But you know, there's ruins everywhere. We are not short of ruins. We've explored a lot, so we'll be able to find the granite stuff, no problem. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you soon, and bye for now.